So you've got the skills on site. You know your way around a building plan. You know how to build. But turning that hands-on expertise into a thriving, profitable business, well, that's a whole different ballgame, isn't it? In this explainer, we're laying out the complete blueprint for starting your own construction company right here in South Africa. Let's just start with one number, a really big one, 445 billion rand. That's how big the South African construction market was just last year. And with huge investments planned for things like energy and infrastructure, that number is only going up. So the real question isn't, is there an opportunity? It's, how do you get your piece of that pie?
And that right there, that's the gap we're here to close today, making that leap from being a great builder to being a successful business owner. This is your step-by-step guide through all the essentials, the planning, the registering, getting the funding sorted, and of course, landing that all-important first project. Look, you would never, ever build a house without a detailed blueprint, right? Of course not. So why on earth would you try to build a company without one? Before you even think about laying a single brick, you need to get your business plan absolutely locked down.
The best way to think about it is exactly like that, an architectural drawing, but for your company. It's really a document for you. It forces you to get that vision out of your head and onto paper. It's where you figure out what makes your company special, who you're actually building for, and what success is really going to look like for you.
Now, don't get intimidated by these business school terms. Let's break it down real simple. Your value proposition, that's just your answer to the question, why should they hire you? Your target market is just deciding if you're building dream homes or giant office blocks. And those last points, budgets and risks, that's all about answering the tough questions before they start costing you serious money. This isn't just paperwork, it's your roadmap to actually making a profit.
Okay, so you've got the blueprint done. Awesome. Now it's time to pour the concrete. This next part is all about making your business a real legal thing. It's time to make it official.
Before you do anything else, and I mean anything, you have to get these two steps done. They are completely non-negotiable. First, you register the company itself. Second, you get yourself compliant with SARS. If you mess up either of these, your whole business is basically built on sand.
Your first stop is the CIPC. This is where your company is officially born. Now, most construction businesses register as a private company, a PTY Limited. And here's why that's so important. It creates a legal wall between you and the business. So if something goes wrong on a project, your personal assets, your house, your car, they're protected.
And get this, this is not the bureaucratic nightmare you might be imagining. Thanks to the CIPC's Biz Portal, you can do pretty much everything online. We're talking company registration, getting a tax number, the whole shebang. All done in as little as 1 day for less than 200 Rand. Seriously, the barrier to getting started has never been lower.
So, your company legally exists now. That's great. But to actually operate in the construction world, you need the specific licenses for the job. You can think of these as the special keys that unlock the doors to the bigger, better, more valuable projects. First up, the CIDB. If you have any ambition at all to work on government projects, we're talking schools, roads, public buildings, this is absolutely essential. The CIDD actually grades your company from 1 to 9 based on your size and capability. Without this registration, you simply can't even bid on those public sector tenders. Now, if your focus is building homes for people to live in, then the NHBRC is mandatory. And I mean mandatory. It's not optional, it's the law. It's there to protect homeowners from shoddy work, and it makes sure that you, the builder, are sticking to a national standard of quality. It's a huge mark of trust and credibility.
And finally, there's CIDB. This basically covers workers' compensation. Now, it's not just about protecting your team, which is hugely important. It's also about protecting your business. Being compliant gets you a critical document called a Letter of Good Standing. And trust me, you will be asked for this letter on almost every major tender application. No letter, no contract. Simple as that.
So let's just put it all together. CIDB, NHBRC, and CIDB. See, these aren't just bureaucratic hoops you have to jump through. They are your license to operate. They are your keys to landing bigger contracts, and they are the proof of your credibility in a super competitive market.
All right, you're registered, you're licensed. Now we've got to talk about the two things that can make or break any construction company: money and risk. You have to get a handle on both if you want to survive. This quote from Garth Rossiter at Lula, man, it just absolutely nails the biggest challenge in this business. Your income is lumpy. It's the perfect word. You might get a massive payment, but then nothing for weeks, maybe months.
all while you're still paying for materials and wages every single day. That gap, that's where businesses fail. Managing cash flow isn't just important, it's everything.
And this slide right here shows how the game has completely changed. Just look at the speed. Weeks or even months for a traditional loan versus 24 hours for a modern cash flow facility. Look at the terms. You're either stuck with fixed repayments or you have flexible, revolving credit where you only pay for what you use. This isn't just another loan. It's a tool built specifically to solve that lumpy income problem, letting you bridge those dangerous cash gaps.
Cash flow is one risk, but what about a wall collapsing on site or your most expensive piece of equipment getting stolen? Each one of these insurance types you see here plugs a potentially business-ending hole. You've got contractors' all risk for the project itself, public liability for accidents, and insurance for your vital machinery. Don't think of this as a cost. Think of it as a shield. One bad day without it could wipe you out completely.
Okay, the foundation is set. The finances are in order. Now for the really exciting part. Winning the work that's going to build your reputation and your company's future.
Here is your very first, most practical step you can take. Get your company registered on the Central Supplier Database, the CSD. This is basically the government's master list of who they're allowed to do business with. In fact, you actually need this registration before you can even finish your CIDB application. It is the absolute gateway to any public sector work.
So, where do you actually find the work? Well, it's got to be a multi-pronged attack. You hunt for government tenders on the Treasury website. You use online platforms for private jobs. You have to network like crazy at industry events. And a really great strategy at the start is to subcontract for larger firms to build up your track record. And, of course, in this day and age, you have to have a professional website that shows off your best work.
And there you have it, the complete blueprint, all the way from just an idea to a fully compliant, ready-to-work construction company. The legal foundation is set, you know how to manage your money, and you know where to find the work. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build first?